What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the NECA Predator Concrete Jungle Scarface Predator. This is, of course, the Predator from the Concrete Jungle video game. Really excited to have this figure in hand. Been a figure on my list for quite some time, so what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him open up, and then we'll have a better look at the Scarface Predator. So stay tuned, everyone. And so here we have the Scarface Predator posed and out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's take a look at what he comes with. Scarface Predator here does come with a few accessories. For starters, Scarface here does come with two alternate heads. He comes with a helmeted head that he has on him right now. And then he also does come with an alternate head where his mask is off and he's screaming, and it looks really, really good. Scarface also does come with two right hands. He comes with an open palm right hand. And then he also does come with a gripping right hand for holding some accessories. He also does come with two wrist blades that go onto his right wrist gauntlet. He comes with a blaster or a spear gun, which looks really good, and he holds it in his right hand. He also does come with a sword or spear, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's a really gnarly bladed weapon and looks really good. His final accessory is, of course, his backpack, which does attach to his back. Has a rail for the plasma caster, and the plasma caster is articulated, so I really do like what Scarface here does come with. So with his accessories out of the way, let's actually take a closer look at the Scarface Predator. And so here we have a look at the Scarface Predator with his mask on, and this is a really cool mask. I really do like the way it looks. It looks just like it did in the video game, which is a really good thing. I really love the front part of his mask, and I actually like all the different designs of Predator masks. I don't know why, I just love the different designs that they all come with. They look so similar, but at the same time they're all very different. You can see he does have his laser sights right here, which does look really good. We actually have four little spikes right here at the crest of his helmet. And then you can also see how worn his helmet looks. It's done in this silver, and then they just added some worn effects. It actually looks like real metal, so I really do like that. His eyes, of course, are blacked out, so if you're looking for his eyes, they're right underneath these lenses, and they do look good. We do have some tribal paint, war paint, I don't know what you want to call that, going down his left eye. We move on to his dreadlocks, which are done with a soft plastic, and you can see they are done in black with some silver, bronze, and some gold accents. So it does look really, really nice. I do like it. I'm really debating on which head I want to have Scarface pose with, because bringing out his alternate head, you can see this head is him without his mask, but it still looks really good. He's actually screaming or roaring on this head. You can see he only has the one eye right here. The other eye is, of course, lost. They did a really good job scarring up that side of his face. And, of course, that's why he's known as a Scarface Predator. Moving on to the rest of the figure, we can take a look at his armor. And his armor is fantastic. I don't know what it is about this armor, but I really do love it. We do have some actual chainmail going along his torso right here, going all the way around his body. You can see there's some holes in it. It doesn't look like it's a complete suit of armor, so I really do like that. And it goes all the way up underneath his dreadlocks. You can see his chest guard right here continues that war paint that we see on his helmet. And everything on him is done in this gunmetal silver, and you can see it actually looks like real metal. So NECA did a fantastic job just sculpting and painting his armor here. His pauldrons are done really well. You can see they are layered, going all the way down to his... I guess these are continue the pauldrons. I don't know if you want to call just this part the pauldron, or if you want to call his entire arm guard the pauldron, but it looks really good. They did layer it, so they continued that design. On his left arm, we do have his little control panel, which does fold up. So you actually do get his little control panel, and it does have some painted detail right here, but inside it's blank, so he's not planning to self-destruct or anything, which is a good thing, because you don't want to be self-destructing as a Predator. I really do love his little trophy collection right here. It's just adorned in spines and bones and tiny little skulls. I don't know if this is like tiny things he's caught and killed or if it's just for decoration, but it looks really good. On his right shoulder we do have a skull, and the skull is painted really well. It's done not in white, but it has this really realistic bone color to it, and I really do like it. You can see there they added some dark wash just to bring out some of the detailing in it, and it's done really well. It is actually on a spike. He does have spikes right here on his right side, and the skull is actually mounted on it. It's not removable, so if you try taking this off, you will end up breaking the figure, so don't try taking the skull off. This pauldron is actually attached to his armor. The arm guard right here is attached to his bicep. On this side we do have the gauntlet where the wrist blades do peg in. You can see the holes right here. So everything on him looks really fantastic, and even right here on his hands you can see it continues that layered effect. So really good job on consistency with that. And you can see his main torso is this almost yellow color, and it actually transitions into those really dark brown. So he's actually has a darker skin tone than most predators that we've had a look at. Really loving his belt. He adorns it with another human skull, which you can see is also done in that bone color, has those darker washes to bring out some detail. His belt is studded, which looks really good. They painted all the silver studs on it. His tassel is also done really well. I want to say that it's done in black plastic. Yep. Everything here is just done in black plastic and then has the brown and the blue painted on it. But they did a good job doing that, and even his thigh guard is actually attached to this piece. I would think that they would attach it to his thighs, but that's different. I wasn't expecting that. You can see his thigh guards also continue with this spike motif, and again we have that layering effect, almost like samurai armor. The netting is actually really well done. Moving on to his greaves, you can see it continues that really gnarly looking layered effect. We have some more spikes right here in his knee pads, which these are actually soft, so you don't have to worry about poking an eye out with those. But just be aware that they are softer plastic and they could end up tearing if you mess around with it too much. Going on to his feet, where he actually has coverings on his feet, where most Predator figures that we've seen don't have this covering on it. He does. And we actually have these almost like steel-toed claws, which look really good. So just overall, a lot of good detail on Scarface Predator here. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed with a few other figures so you can see how he compares to some figures in your collection. So here we have the Scarface Predator posed next to a DC Multiverse Superman and a Marvel Legends Cyclops. Here we have the Scarface Predator posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we have the Scarface Predator posed next to the Fugitive Predator and the Ahab Predator. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at his articulation. Now, Scarface here does have some pretty good articulation. He does have a ball joint in the head, so he can look up pretty well, can look down, can tilt his head side to side, so that really works. Can turn left and right, although his dreads do get in the way of the articulation, and of course the armor will also hinder his head articulation, so do be aware of that. Arms, they are on a ball joint, go out all the way horizontal. They would do a full 360, but they do bump into the pauldron right here, and you don't want to move that all the way around because this might tear off. It would be nice if it was attached here at the bicep, but I know what they were going for. He does have a swivel at the bicep. Double bend in the elbow gives us pretty good range here. We do have a swivel right here in the gauntlet. We have a swivel at the wrist as well as a ball joint. It's not the best ball joint. We get some in and out movement, some up and down, but it's not the greatest ball joint we've ever seen on a figure, and I really do prefer the hinges. As far as his torso articulation goes, he can lean back about that far, can lean forward about that far. We get some tilt side to side, as well as some rotation. We also do have a secondary ball joint down here, which lets him lean back together with those two joints, goes back about that far, comes forward about that far, and then both joints leaning side to side. We do get some rotation. Legs do kick forward to about there, kick back, they go out only to about there. They would go all the way horizontal, except his skirt piece here does get in the way. He has a swivel at the thigh. We have a double bend in the knee, which his leg goes all the way up despite having all this armor. I really do like that. We do have a secondary swivel right here, just above his knee. No swivel at the knee, although his pauldrons are a soft piece of plastic, so the pauldrons themselves do move around. We have some rotation at his foot, as well as a ball joint which goes up and down and side to side. So overall, really good articulation here on the Scarface Predator. If I could change a couple of things, it would be having his thigh guards attached to his thighs and giving him actual hinges in the wrists. But other than that, he's still a really solid figure. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Scarface Predator posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I really do like the way this figure came out, and I'm really glad to have the Scarface in my collection. He is a welcomed addition to my Predator collection, and if you're a fan of the Predator, I really do recommend you find this figure to add to your collection. He is actually well done. Any fan of the Predator video game or just the Predator franchise will want to have this guy in their own personal collection. Now, if you are looking for a Scarface Predator here, he is unfortunately out of print, and I don't see NECA re-releasing this figure anytime soon. And this figure is kind of expensive. I have seen him go online for $80 to $122, which is a lot for a figure. I was actually lucky enough to pick up my Scarface Predator from a local collector who was looking to sell his Predator collection, and he was able to sell it to me for $40, which is a pretty steep price for one figure, but seeing as how his secondary market is twice that, I couldn't pass up on that offer. If you can find Scarface at a really good price, I do recommend you pick him up if you're a fan of Predator, Predator Concrete Jungle, or just want a really awesome Predator in your collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other NECA and Predator videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. And while you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and ring that bell notification for every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.